So 8-time Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill shared an update with us as far as how his injury is coming along. He said currently he has absolutely no power in his left leg at all. He explained that 10 months and 2 surgeries after the initial injury happened. If you guys don't know what the initial injury was, I'll give you guys a little update of that as well. If you guys don't know, Tyreek Hill suffered a left knee dislocation and multiple torn ligaments, including his ACL during a Week 4 game against the New York Jets on September 29th. And 10 months later and 2 surgeries later, once again, he said that he has no power at all no power at all in his left leg to this point. So now this goes back to the point of, well, chill. Well, you just said that the Atlanta Falcons should sign him. Do you still believe that? I got to be honest with you guys. My sentiment hasn't changed, and the reason is because of this. I expected, at the time where I said the Atlanta Falcons should sign him, because he did put out a tweet and said he wanted to go home. He did say that he does miss playing with Tua Tagovailoa, right? The whole point of me saying that he should sign with the Falcons, or the Falcons should sign him rather, is this. Believe it or not, I knew, and this is no flack towards Tyreek Hill or anything, trust me, like, it's no flack on him, it's no downplaying him, no trying to say, anything about Tyreek Hill at all. It's just, facing the facts of the injury. To be completely honest with you guys, I knew he wasn't going to be healthy even if the Falcons signed him. And with myself being a Falcons fan, if the Falcons sign him, I'm not going to expect him to be healthy. It's not going to be one of those things to where, the Falcons sign him and I'm expecting him to be ready to go 100% week 1. I wasn't expecting that at all. What I am expecting is, like I explained in the video where we're talking about him potentially going to the Atlanta Falcons. What I was, discussing the hypothetical of is this. You sign Tyreek Hill. The Falcons, as they are now, already have a pretty solid team. The way the Falcons are now, they have a pretty nice team. They have a nice squad with the way the team is now, just straight up. What Tyreek Hill would do is, for right now, he wouldn't be an option as far as playing, but what he would do throughout the course of a season as he starts to get more healthy, as the season progresses, when he starts to get to the point to where it's a thing to where he can play, and where it's a thing of, okay, now he's getting closer to being able to play, now he can start to get healthy and kind of find his rhythm, find his way in the course of the season on the Atlanta Falcons. And then as the season goes on, he can get more comfortable. And the thing was, I was approaching it from an aspect of this. He's already comfortable playing with the quarterback that the Atlanta Falcons have in Tua, right? So when he gets back off of injury, it won't be like two burdens. It won't be like, okay, he's trying to recover from an injury, but also trying to adjust and learn to play with a new quarterback. He won't have to deal with those two different burdens. It'll be, okay, he's trying to recover from injury, right? He's trying to recover from his injury and trying to get back right. But at least he's comfortable with the quarterback that he's getting back into a rhythm with. And what I said that Tyreek Hill would provide was also outside of, just playing on the field. What he would provide is that experience, that veteran leadership, if you will, that veteran presence, because Tyreek Hill has done the things that a lot of people on this Atlanta Falcons team have not. He's won the Super Bowls. He's been to the playoffs. And for a young team like the Falcons, they need somebody like that has been to the playoffs, won Super Bowls, got it done. They need someone like that so they can tell the younger guys, tell the Drake London, tell the Zachariah Branches, tell these players what they need to expect, what they need to be doing, what they need to be working on throughout the course of a season to get themselves ready for playoff time, to get themselves ready for potentially playing in the Super Bowl, potentially playing in the NFC Championship. He can tell them these things and get them ready for what it's going to take to get there. He's providing that veteran leadership and experience that he does have. And people can say whatever they want about Tyreek Hill as far as how you don't have to like him, you don't have to think he's a He's fully healthy. You don't have to, respect him if you don't want to. But here's what you will do. You will acknowledge the fact that, like my boy Roman Reigns say, acknowledge me. You will acknowledge the fact that he is, like I said, an 8-time Pro Bowler. You will acknowledge the fact that he is a five-time All Pro. You will acknowledge the fact, once again, he is a Super Bowl champion. You will acknowledge the fact that he almost had 2,000 receiving yards in a season at one point in time. So he's done a lot in his career. So my point was, starting off the season, is he going to be the guy to where you're relying on, or Tua is relying on, or the team is relying on? Of course not. I didn't even expect him to play early in the season if the Falcons do end up signing him. I don't expect him to play early in the year. I would maybe, if I had to make a guess, I'll be honest with you guys, I would probably expect him back around if everything flows smoothly, I can expect Tyreek Hill to be back out on the field, practice field. I can expect him to be out on the practice field, giving it full go, pause, around the season starts, the regular season. The regular season starts in September. So I can say December, maybe December. Like, as far as back out on the practice field, giving it full go, pause, but giving it, full effort. He's fully healthy, around that 85 to 90% healthy. I can expect that around December time. And to the point that we're talking about, that's probably when you would want Tyreek Hill to start making his way back on the field, like I was talking about. Because, like I said, the point was never, when I brought up the potential signing of Tyreek Hill going to the Falcons, when I brought up this potential signing, the point was never for Tyreek Hill to be like the guy from the beginning of the season on. That was never the plan. The plan was for him to eventually get healthy with the Falcons and just get healthy with the team. And then over time, he makes his way back on the field. And then he probably is used mostly in the playoffs. That was the plan. But he will probably make his way back onto the practice field about December, January. He'll probably start practicing fully as far as being able to give full effort, full energy, like say 85 to like 95%. He'd be around there. So then you can start working him into the game plan. Pause, but not even necessarily playing him on Sundays, but just working him into the game plan. So you start, running sets for him in practice. You start running plays for him in practice. You start allowing him in practice to get a little bit more reps. You start letting him, do his thing a little bit more. You start calling more plays for him in practice, letting him get a little bit more burn. All that type stuff. And then maybe about towards maybe like the last 2 games of the year, maybe like the last 2 games of the season, like the last 2, because usually we play a division rival the last game of the year. So like them last 2 games, I would play Tyreek Hill in those games. Here's why. It's not to like flex like you got Tyreek Hill. It's not to flex or anything like that. I would play Tyreek Hill in those last 2 games because of this. Going into the playoffs, keep in mind he hasn't played since September. Let me make sure I get this right. He hasn't played since September of 2025. Okay, since September 29th, 2025. Okay. So I would play him in those last 2 regular season Falcons games to get him, because like I said, he is going to play in the playoffs. So y'all keep up with the plan here, all right? Just stay with me now, all right? Just stay with the plan right here. He hasn't played since September of 2025. So what those 2 games would do would give him some live action burn to get ready for the playoffs. And here's the thing, though, I'm not giving him full. I'm not giving him full. Full game reps. I'm not giving him full. Like it's all on him. I pause on that. I'm not giving him those type reps or that type of game at all. Only thing Tyreek Hill is playing in those last two games for is a couple plays here and there. We gonna call designated plays for Tyreek Hill. Specific designated plays for Tyreek Hill. We're gonna go out there and I'm gonna tell Tua straight up, hey, Tua, let's run this play. And the whole purpose of this play is to get Tyreek Hill the ball so he can start getting comfortable and start getting adjusted again to being out there on the NFL field, live action in a regular season environment, a live game. It ain't preseason. It ain't, you're going against the third string corner and and no offense to that. No offense to third string corners because they're NFL players, but we can all acknowledge that at any professional level of any sport or in anything it is you do, anything, there is levels to it. Whatever it is, in business, sports, whatever, there is levels to it. So yeah, they're NFL athletes too, but it's levels to being an NFL athlete. Where the burn that Tyreek Hill would get in the preseason is not the burn that Tyreek Hill is going to get in the regular season. Because, like I said, he's going to be going against what? No offense, but the third string corner in the preseason. That's cool, but that's not really going to give him the reps that he's going to be seeing in the playoffs. He need to be going out there going against the real corners that he's going to be seeing in the playoffs so he can get used to that. So we're calling designated plays. Okay, Tua, let's run this play. Get Tyreek Hill the ball real quick. Pause. So he can get out there, get comfortable. Okay, boom, he's starting getting comfortable, starting getting used to running the routes again. And I might give Tyreek, him maybe a light little five plays in the last two regular season games. Maybe like a good 5 plays each, like designated plays for him. Now, if Tua throws him the ball naturally, if he throws him the football naturally during another play, then that's something different. But as far as designated specific plays, I'm giving Tyreek Hill like 5 plays each in each of these last 2 regular season games to get him warmed up, to get him comfortable with being back on the NFL field and live action, being the Tyreek Hill that we all know and love, getting him comfortable with that again, getting him comfortable being back out on the NFL field, getting him comfortable with just running those routes, getting him comfortable with live game action, with the crowd going crazy, all that stuff, to get him comfortable with that. So that way, when the playoffs get here, because I think the Falcons will make the playoffs this year. When the playoffs get here, that's where I was planning on using Tyreek Hill if the Falcons did manage to sign him. Playoff time gets there. The reason why you played him in those last 2 regular season games was for this moment. That's why you played him in these last 2 regular season games. So in the playoffs, when he flows into the playoffs, it's like he's warmed up. He's ready. He's mentally there. He's mentally ready to go. Now he can start doing his thing in the playoffs. He can start doing his thing. You can start letting him go catch those. You start letting him go catch those flies. You start letting him go catch those, those routes to where he can get free. You can start letting him do his thing like fully at that point. And not to say you're ignoring Drake London or you're ignoring Branch or you're ignoring John Dotson or any of the other receivers. It's just now you can allow Tyreek Hill to really start doing his thing and be the Tyreek Hill that we all know and love. So that was my thing in the whole process of this or whole idea of this. I just wanted to let you guys know that I didn't plan on him being a threat or not a threat, but what's the word I'm looking for? A usable asset early in the year or to start off the year. Tyreek Hill, the way I looked at it, if the Falcons do sign him, Tyreek Hill is more of they're going to sign him to make sure they have him, but he's going to be more for down the line of the season. He's not going to be an asset right now for any team, but down the stretch of the year, that's when Tyreek Hill will start to have his effect if everything flows the way it needs to flow. So that was my plan. And the thing about this, and I'm in a way I kind of appreciate, and I want to give props to Tyreek Hill for making this update because he could have faked it. And I'm glad that we're talking about it because he could have faked it and he could have. I mean, you guys know how this goes. We were no stranger to how sports store. I mean, excuse me, to how players who are injured and players who have off the field issues and players that end up free agents somehow, right? End up free agents, whether that's injuries, off the field issues, whatever it may be. We know how it goes. Every time they ask them, how you feeling, man? They go on a podcast or they enter the sports media space like I'm blessed to be in. They enter the sports media space and they say, oh, well, how you doing? You feeling good? I know you're a free agent right now. I know you haven't been on the team since last year. How you feeling right now? You know what the cliche is. Y'all already know what this is. Oh man, I'm feeling the best I've ever felt in my career. Honestly, I'm feeling better than the time I had 2,000 yards. I'm feeling better than that. Like I'm so healthy, man. Like I'm so healthy. I just really hate the fact that no team is giving me a shot because I'm really more healthy than I have been in my whole career. I feel better than I ever have in my career. I feel more stronger. I feel more explosive. I feel more anxious to just get out there and play. I feel like I really have evolved myself to the point of being the best that I can be. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm older than I was in my prime, and even though I unfortunately suffered this injury, or even though I unfortunately had those off the field issues, I feel like I'm better than I ever have been in my career. Not Tyreek Hill. I'm just talking about any. Y'all know how this goes. Any player, the cliche is when they get released or whatever the case may be for off the field reasons or for an injury reason. Y'all know what the cliche is. They normally go, I'm feeling the best I ever felt or I'm the best I ever have been route to hype up teams and to get teams to be like, oh, really? Well, let's give him a shot. Let's bring him into camp and let's see what he got. That's what normally happens. So I give props to Tyreek Hill. I give props to Tyreek Hill because Cheetah could have easily been like, oh, yeah, I'm feeling the best I ever have in my career. He could have went the cliche route easily. But he kept it real. In the video, I don't know if you guys saw the video, but in the video, he just kept it real. While he was doing sprints, he was doing sprints, doing his recovery, getting used to running again, getting used to, like running off of the leg, getting used to using his leg again, right? He was completely honest and straightforward in the video. I have no power in my left leg at all. Knock on wood. But it's facts. I have no power in my left leg at all. But he said that I'm, trying to activate it every day. I'm working every day. It's one step at a time. And you guys got to think, at one point in time, the doctors told him at one point in time there was a chance he might not walk. Not walk again, if I'm not mistaken. They told him at one point there was a chance that he could not walk again. So the fact of him being able to be real, be transparent, be genuine about where he is in his recovery at this point in time, I give him props for that. I do. Because he could have easily lied and could have easily hyped himself up to just get a team to sign him. He could have easily done, and it would have been so, excuse me, but I mean, it's true. It would have been, dare I say, understandable because he doesn't have an NFL contract right now. He's not on the NFL field right now. No team, from what I'm hearing, the market on Tyreek Hill right now is slow. So he could have lied and said, okay, yeah, I'm feeling the best I ever have. I don't know why no team ain't giving me a chance, but I'm feeling the best I ever have in my career. If a team signed me, we going to the Super Bowl. He could have done all of that, but he was real. No, I have no power in my left leg right now at all, but I'm working every day and it's one step at a time. So I give him props for that. So wherever he ends up landing, I think they're going to get a great player because Tyreek Hill is a great player. I think he's really dedicated himself to his recovery and getting back to the Tyreek Hill that we all know and love. And I feel like that he is taking his recovery seriously from what I hear and what I see. So I think wherever he ends up landing, we'll get a great player. If that is in Atlanta, I feel like that would be the best spot for him outside of Kansas City is going to Atlanta because, I mean, they have his old quarterback who he's very comfortable with in Tua Tagovailoa. They have other wide receivers like Drake London, like Jahan Dotson, like Zachariah Branch, all these other wide receivers that are talented to the point to where they don't even need, and no offense to Tyreek Hill, but they don't necessarily need a Tyreek Hill for the team to be good. Just being honest. They don't need a Tyreek Hill for the team to float or for the team to get by week to week. The team can be good regardless. They got Bijan, right? Who, if you don't think he is one of the best running backs in the league, if not the best running back in the league. So you got Bijan, you got Tua, you got Kyle Pitts, you got Drake London, you got Jahan Dotson, you got Zachariah Branch. The team, you got the defense. So, like, the team is going to be good, in my opinion, regardless. The team is going to be able to flow regardless without Tyreek Hill. Without Tyreek Hill being there, the team is going to be able to flow regardless. What Tyreek Hill would do is just add on and help take the team in the playoffs to another level because they haven't had the experience of being to that point yet. So he will provide that much needed experience and veteran presence that the team needs to go to that next level and potentially take off for a run. And who knows, the sky's the limit after that. So that's all I was saying. Whoever signs Tyreek Hill, I feel like you're getting a great player. Tyreek Hill, continue to work on your recovery, man. I have nothing but faith in you. I trust you to be back to the Tyreek Hill that we do all know and love. And I expect you to be back in no time. So we're going to see how it ends up and where he ends up landing. We will talk about it right here on the Chill Report, as you guys already know. So y'all let me know what y'all think about Tyreek Hill's update. Did y'all respect his transparency and him being real about it? Or would y'all have rather him just kind of sugarcoat it and kind of go the cliche route? Y'all let me know what y'all think about it, man. And what is y'all plan if Tyreek Hill signed with your NFL team? What is your plan to how you would manage Tyreek Hill to make sure that he's actually healthy when your team actually needs him? So y'all let me know that in the comments as well. But for today's episode, man, your boy Chill is out, man. Peace.